The new book is Power and Progress, newly minted Nobel Prize winner, Simon Johnson. Simon, when Rudy Dornbush was beating you to death at MIT years ago, do you think Dornbush ever would have thought young Johnson, the mouthy one from the United Kingdom, would win a Nobel Prize?
No, I'm pretty sure he would be just as surprised as I am today, Tom.
It's just wonderful. Simon Johnson, let's talk about the why of this Nobel Prize with James Robinson of Chicago and, of course, Daron and you over at MIT. There's a presser at 10 a.m., folks. Simon Johnson, why should we study, fear, or enjoy our modern technology?
I think technology drives everything, Tom. You're well aware of that. And the question is, whose technology? Who has what priority? What's their vision? Is it an inclusive vision, or is it a vision in which only a few people have good jobs and everybody else is really scrambling? That's been super important over the last 250 years. We've had some good episodes and some really bad ones. And I think it's all in play again with artificial intelligence.
In play with this, Simon Johnson, is this election. I mentioned this the other day. It parallels 1840, 1850. There's almost a Luddite part of America that is afraid of the consequences of technology. What is the Acemoglu, Johnson, Robinson prescription?
Well, Daron and Jim should speak for themselves. But my view, Tom, is that technology has hurt people. We've had excessive automation in the past 40 years. We've not generated enough new good jobs, so jobs where you actually get paid good money and you can live well. And we've got to do better on that. I think that that's really a fundamental driving importance, irrespective of the election outcome. Where are the good jobs going to come from? And can we keep pace with or get ahead of automation? Because, automation is going to happen like it or not. So you really got to work a lot harder to generate more science, more technology, deploy that, commercialize that, scale that up, and generate more good jobs all across the country. Can be done, but it's a top priority. And I think it needs to be elevated as a priority right now.
All right, so Simon, with your two colleagues and your work here, I mean, it just raises a question which is so relevant even today, discerning why some countries are rich and some much poorer. How should we think about that big picture question these days?
Well, I suggest we think about it in two ways. One is the sort of deep history and recognize that we've all got these legacies that we're living with. And some of these legacies, particularly if you were colonized in a harsh way by the Europeans, that's a very tough legacy to overcome. But the second thing is, there's no predestination. It's all about the choices that you make, including technology that we just talked about if you're in the United States. But around the world, I would point to corruption. I mean, corruption's been, as you guys know, talked about a lot over the past 30, 40 years. But what do we have? We still have immense amounts of corruption. And there's two sides to that. There's the people who pay the bribes and the people who take the bribes. And that's a big part of what holds a lot of countries deeply in the poverty that you see today.
So what can institutions do? I mean, this is, I'm going to go back to Douglas North and his seminal work at Washington University in St. Louis. Professor Johnson, what do our institutions need to improve on to help the have-nots of technology? What is your IMF, where you served, what does it need to do?
Oh, well, I was at the IMF a long time ago, as you know, so I'm not going to speak to their current policies and stance. But I think the key thing, and it may just sound like a rhetorical device, Tom, but it's real, is focus on inclusive prosperity. How are you getting more good jobs created for more people, and make sure they can access those jobs, make sure they have the skills, make sure they're empowered themselves, and they recognize that. So the bumper sticker for me out of all of this is more good jobs.
Sloan 101, come on, Simon, let's do it. Simon Johnson on tariffs.
Oh, and look, if you want to blow up the world and the world trading system and really damage poorer Americans, slap a massive tariff on all the imports. Right. Because as you know, poorer Americans spend a lot on things that have imported content. So massive tariff war, terrible idea.
Right. Simon, one more question. We want to get you on your day. Huge press commitments now in this important press conference with Daron Acemoglu scheduled at 10 a.m. Circling in all this academics is Olivier Blanchard. Tell us what Olivier did for MIT.
Oh, I think Olivier Blanchard is one of the greatest economists of this or any generation. And his presence and his toughness and his rigor has been present throughout my career. And I started at MIT as a grad student in September 1985. So I've been 39 years on and off with the Institute. So Olivier Blanchard is one of the modern greats, absolutely.